Azullah Samil Mina Sitan Razim. Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallim. Madam Chair, Commissioners, Lead Counsel, viewers and listeners, members of the press, good morning. Welcome back once again to our daily proceedings of this Commission of Inquiry into Local Government Councils and related matters. Without further ado, I have the honor to yield the floor to Madam Chair for our next item on our today's agenda. Madam Chair, over to you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I'll call on Honorable Sila to lead us in Muslim prayers and Honorable Joyner to lead us in Christian prayers. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق والخاتم لما سبق نازل الحق بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره العظيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق والخاتم لما سبق نازل الحق بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره العظيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق والخاتم لما سبق نازل الحق بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره العظيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما صلى الله تعالى عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Gracious and everlasting Father, we lift up your name this morning with our hearts full of praise. It is by your grace, mercy, and forgiveness that we are alive to see this last day of April. Be with us as we journey through this day and walk in another new month of May. Your love has brought us this far, and we say thank you. We commit this day and these months ahead into your kind and loving care. Be our stronghold and our fortress, and may all we seek come through, and your divine and eternal grace abide with us throughout our lifespan. In Jesus' name, amen.
Good morning, Mr. Witness.
Good
morning.
Welcome to this Commission of Inquiry into Local Government Councils and related matters.
Thank you.
Mr. Witness, in which language do you wish to make your testimony?
In English,
What is your religion?
Muslim,
Do you wish to swear by the Holy Quran or make an affirmation?
by the Holy Quran.
Madam Chair, the witness wishes to swear by the Holy Quran. Can you hold the Holy Quran and then repeat after me? I, Abdoulie T.M. Nyang,
Abdoulie T.M. Nyang,
do swear that
do swear that
I'll speak the truth,
I will speak the truth,
the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you. You may be kindly seated. Madam Chair, the witness is sworn. I have the honor to hand over the witness to you for us to proceed.
Good morning, Mr. Nyang. You are welcome. Council, you may proceed.
Yes, Mr. Nyang, please state your full name. Do we take that again? What is your name?
Abdoulie T.M. Nyang,
Your address?
Bundum in the Kanifing municipality.
Your educational background?
I did my primary school at Kampama Primary School and later transferred to Serakunda Primary School. I went to Serakunda Junior Secondary School to Armitage, where I did my O-levels. I did my AAT final level 3, advanced diploma in accounting in Irish University of Business Schools, London. I did partly ACCA level 2, but not completed, with other national and international courses.
We have your statement. It is dated the 16th of October 2023.
Yes. Okay. Yes, I confirm that this was my statement.
We apply to tender the statement of the witness, Abdoulie T.M. Nyang, into evidence as an exhibit.
The statement dated the 16th of October 2023 is hereby admitted in evidence as an exhibit, and it is marked as LGC/BCC/ATMN/001.
As the commission places. You worked for the Banjul City Council.
Yes,
When were you first employed?
I was first employed by the Kanifing Municipal Council, KMC, in 1996, 1st October, and later promoted as a paying out cashier, promoted as chief cashier, later senior accountant, finance manager. The same time also I was the finance officer for Galga. Later deployed and transferred to Banjul City Council in April 4th, 2010, up to July 16th, 2018.
So in 2018, you came back to the area council?
No, I was deployed to B.C.C. by the ministry in April 1st, 2010.
10 years.
Up to BCC until July July 16, 2018.
2018, 16 July 2018.
Exactly. And I was sent on unsolicited leave.
And after that?
After that, at home.
You have been at home since then?
Since July 16, 2018 to date.
Okay. And what was the reason?
The reason was, according to the letter they gave me, was that there was a task force set by the council.
Yes.
For me to proceed on 1 month unsolicited leave. I can tell me unsolicited leave because I didn't request for the leave. I was just sent on leave like that.
Yes.
So the task force will take the task force will do their job accordingly, as they said.
Yes.
The letter was signed by the CEO.
Right.
And I was employed by the ministry and not the council by then.
And so, why is that important?
It's very important because of the ministry have a role to play for me to proceed on leave, because the CEO himself, the ministry appointed him, and at the same time they appointed me. And I was confirmed in the position in 2013, around 2013, around February, March, together with the CEO himself.
Were you given a letter to that effect with respect to your interdiction?
The letter was given to me by the CEO, not the interdiction, unsolicited leave. By the CEO. Yes, I have the letter with me.
Okay.
There were a series of letters from the CEO.
Yes.
The 1 month leave was dated on the 16th of July 2018. Another letter was dated on the 13th of August 2018 for leave extension for additional 2 months. When that happened, I wrote a letter to the ministry for their intervention, because it was not in line with the service rules, because at least as positions for grade 10 and above, the number of working days would have been only 25 working days. In that period also, as I was the first vice president of Africa Finet under UCLGA for a term of 6 years, I do travel for the networking system. I was invited by the UCLGA on no cost to council. The application was sent to the ministry by Galga for my permission to travel. I was granted permission to travel. When I received the travel clearance, it was copied to to council. I was given a suspension letter for 2 months. The application to travel, request for travel clearance for Mr. Abdoulie ATM Nyang, Finance Officer for Galga, is here attached. Update on the request for the travel to clearance for Mr. Abdoulie T.M. Nyang, Finance Officer for Galga, is also here. Sent to the Ministry, copy to the Lord Mayor, the Head of Governance, the CEO, and all mayors and chairpersons of council. The invitation letter from UCLGA is also attached to that. In virtue of my position at the UCLGA, invitation letter from Kampala, Uganda. As of my position, is also attached here. The request for travel clearance also from the Ministry, signed on behalf of the Permanent Secretary, dated 28 August 2018. To the Secretary General of Galga, copied to me, is here. With this, it deems me fit to write to the Permanent Secretary number 1, then Buba Sanyang, copy to the Diet of Governance, for my humble self, request for my for intervention of the Ministry in respect of my situation at B.C.C, also here. I was not granted permission to travel. The PS Buba Sanyang, Ministry of Localgovernment, when I received my travel clearance, preparing to travel, that very day, around 4:30 p.m., PS called my attention that the noise was too much, let me just cancel my trip. Tell him why? He said, no, just cancel the trip. I complied and canceled my trip. The following morning, early morning, during my time, as per schedule for my arrival at Kampala, the UCLGA Secretariat called my attention that, they didn't see me. I just tell them that, I missed my flight. It was even not correct to even tell me that because of the situation here. So that was the reason why I didn't travel. Then later I was suspended because of this. Later on, I have my health issues. I requested for 2 weeks medical treatment period to Dakar, in which I was evacuated there. Copy to the Permanent Secretary, Diet of Governance, so here. The date is, attached there, the date, huh? The date was 2nd January 2019. I had almost 3 weeks in Dakar for my treatment. When I completed my treatment, returned back to the country, I wrote to the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Lands, then on the 24th of January 2019, copied to the Diet of Governance. Caption of the letter was completion of my medical treatment. I refer him to the letter dated on the 2nd of January. And the medical reports are also with me here from Dakar. On the 15th of January 2019, I had a letter from the Minister of Local Government for my reinstatement. Caption of the letter dated 5th of January 2019, addressed to the CEO, reference LM35/131/01229. A reinstatement of suspended Director of Finance, Mr. Abdoulie Nyang. I have copies. Okay, I better find out. Whilst I was preparing to resume office, for 2 weeks, I went to the Director of Governance that I'm prepared to go. She said, no, just wait for a while. I waited and complied. For almost 2 weeks, to the 3rd week, I received another letter on the 14th of August 2019, a reversal of my reinstatement as Director of Finance. On November 6, 2019, I wrote to the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Lands, reference follow-up letter for the reversal. October 7, 2019, letter of dismissal from the Minister of Local Government through the Service Commission. It's here. So when they dismissed me, it didn't fit that it was an unlawful dismissal. I lodged a complaint with the Ombudsman for their investigation, and the investigation was done. I was invited by the Ombudsman also. I can comment that I have the reference here. So that's the situation where I can stop now until I hear from you.
Very well. May I please see the document? We apply to tender the following documents. The first is a memo from the Chief Executive Officer to the Director of Finance. The subject 1 month leave. The second is the leave extension for another 2 months. We have the third leave extension for another 2 months. From the Minister of Lands and Regional Government, addressed to the CEO. We have a letter from the Chief Executive Officer to the Director of Finance with the subject suspension for 2 months pending further financial investigations by the task force. 23rd of August 2018, we have a letter from Galga addressed to the Permanent Secretary. An invitation letter to the 5th EPS HRM Net Conference. A request for clearance letter. We have a letter addressed to the Permanent Secretary, signed by the witness Nyang, Director of Finance, with the subject request for intervention of the Ministry in respect of my situation at B.C.C. A request for 2 weeks medical treatment addressed to the Chief Executive Officer. A notice of completion of medical treatment from the addressed to the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Lands and Regional Government, by the witness Abdoulie Nyang. A letter addressed to the CEO by the Minister of Regional Government and Religious Affairs with the subject reinstatement of suspended Finance Director, Mr. Abdoulie Nyang. A letter addressed to the CEO by the Council from the Minister of Lands, Regional Government and Religious Affairs with the subject reversal of the reinstatement of Director of Finance. A letter addressed to the Permanent Secretary by the witness Abdoulie Nyang with the subject a follow-up letter. A letter addressed to the Permanent Secretary by the witness Abdoulie Nyang, and a letter of dismissal addressed to the witness Abdoulie Nyang, signed by Aliou Sidikan for the Permanent Secretary. To be admitted into evidence and marked as exhibits.
"15 documents presented by the witness, which are correspondences between himself and council and the ministry, are hereby admitted in a bundle together as exhibit in evidence, and they are marked as LGC/BCC/ATMN/002.
As the commission places. Now, Mr. Nyang, you were subsequently dismissed. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You have seen the task force report?
No?
You were never issued with this report?
No.
Did you appear before the task force?
No.
You did not appear before the task force?
No.
Well, let me show you the report. How can finance against you be made without you being called to the task force? Young.
Yes, sir.
How can finance against you be made without you being invited to testify or for them to hear from you?
I can recall just one time, less than 10 minutes with the task force.
I know you said you never appeared. That's what you said. You said you never appeared.
It was just once.
Once.
Within 10 minutes. Because the questions were not that much relevant.
Please have a look at the task force report, a review of the operational and finance activities of the Banjul State Council, November 2018.
As I said, I'm just seeing the task force report.
Very well. Let me please have it. We apply to tender the task force report for Banjul City Council into evidence as an exhibit.
The task force report, which is the review of the operational and finance activities of the Banjul City Council, dated November 2018, is hereby admitted in evidence as an exhibit, and it is marked as LGC/BCC/ATMN/003.
As the commission places. Let me read what the report states on page 46. I see here, but it says 4.2. It says, the management accounts presented by the Director of Finance, that was you at the time, revealed that for 2 years, the closing balances of accounts of one period are different from the opening balances of the subsequent year. No clear reason was given for such discrepancy. This alone shows that the management report issued by the Council for those years were not a true reflection of Council's financial performance and position. Do you understand what it says?
Yes, I did.
What does it mean?
But there was no...
What does it mean first? What does it mean first?
Can you repeat the question, please, sir?
What does it mean, what I've just read? Do I read it again?
Yes, sir.
It says the management accounts presented by the Director of Finance, that's you at the time, revealed that for 2 years, the closing balances of accounts of one period are different from the opening balances of the subsequent year. No clear reason was given for such discrepancy. This alone shows that the management report issued by the Council for those years were not a true reflection of Council's financial performance and position.
I was not asked to give any financial management report. I didn't hand over any report to them, my humble self.
Were you preparing financial statements?
Financial statements were not prepared.
Why?
Financial reports were prepared on financial statements.
What is the difference?
The financial reports indicates the income and expenditure statements and other...
It indicates what?
Income and expenditure statements.
Yes. And financial statement?
Financial statements will show the true picture of the Council in respect of the balance sheet and everything.
Your yearly financial transaction?
Exactly.
Why would you not prepare that?
That was prepared because of the cash book is there to show the opening, the closing balance and the
prepare
returns.
a financial statement. It's a question. It's either a yes or a no. If you have prepared one, then you'll be in a position to provide one.
It was provided, it was prepared, but I don't know whether they've handed it over to the task force. By then I was not in office.
So Nyang, you said no. When I first asked whether you prepared a financial statement, you said no.
Financial reports were prepared, but not financial statements.
Not financial statements?
No.
Why did you not prepare a financial statement at the end of the year? The law requires you to prepare a financial statement. Why was it not prepared? Is there a reason?
No, there was no reason because of, I was not asked to tender it.
No. Did you prepare it? I did not ask whether you tendered a financial statement. Did you? We will come to the procedure that was adopted, but then whether you have a financial statement. The allegations are the closing balances are different from the opening balances in subsequent years. So if you 2025, 2024, your closing balance must mirror the opening balance. Unless something has changed, then you will have your financial statement to address these things and your bank reconciliations therein.
Maybe with that there may be some errors in the postings for the closing balance, and they need to be updated.
Did you prepare? Who should do that?
The finance manager and my humble self.
No, let's forget about the finance manager. You are the
Director of Finance.
Director of Finance.
Exactly.
So whatever the finance manager is to do, you can do, either by delegate authority, but whatever the case might be, you should do it. You should make sure it is being done. Now it further reads, the Director of Finance provided the task force with the management accounts. That you provided the task force with the management accounts from 1st January 2015 to 30th of June 2018. According to the accounts, the council reported surpluses in 2015 of $920,326 and also of $3,013,723 and 2017 of $3,589,284 and 2018 up to the end of June $5,966,656. However, when challenged by the finance subcommittee of the task force to show the surplus in the bank statements given that the council was operating a cash-based system, we were provided with the following, and there's an annex to it. That's Annex 6. And Annex 6 explains what you provided to the committee in relation to the finances. It says the opening income analysis, opening liabilities as at 1st January 2015. You have your bank overdraft from Trust Bank, FI Bank, and Eco Bank. And you have your bank loans as well from these three banks. You have your closing liabilities as at 31st December 2015, and your bank loan from FI Bank, Eco Bank, and Eco Bank Loan 2. So you have provided your income analysis for this period. You understand that? Now, in 4.3, the task force stated that the Director of Finance was solely responsible for all finance-related activities. There was no segregation of duties, as he alone was requesting, authorizing, and approving payments with little or no oversight by the CEO. Is that true?
It was not true.
Why is it not true?
Council, I want to clear this area.
Yes.
When I was given unsolicited leave, I handed over to the finance manager who was acting on my behalf.
Right.
And all these documents that you are just mentioning here, I I was not the humbled person who handed over to them. So it was the finance manager by then. So I was never also invited to go through with the task force to at least to help them with their findings. This is the first time I'm even seeing this report and hearing from this.
Very well. But you knew a task force was set up?
I knew it was set up.
Do you know the members of the task force?
Members of the task force,
Yes.
because the first day I met them, when they invited me for 10 minutes, I just recognized them, few of them.
Who were they?
One day Senghor, Usman Wada,
Yes.
I guess, and Jallo and something Bunjai.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, let me read again the allegations with respect to the financial management of council. It says, you, the Director of Finance, you were solely responsible for all finance-related activities, that there was no segregation of duties, as he alone was requesting, authorizing, and approving payments with little or no oversight by the CEO. Is that correct?
It's wrong, totally wrong.
Why is it wrong?
Requests are made from other sources, signed, approved by the CEO, and then to me.
So, if it is stated that you are the one who request, authorize, and approve payments, that would not be correct.
How can I do that? No, that's not correct.
I mean, it's a hearing. I am not saying I agree.
No,
it doesn't make sense to me.
No.
But these are the words of the
It never happened. It never happened. I can say this task force was just doing whatever they like, I can say, because it was, the composition of the task force was not even correct.
Why?
For our advertisement.
Why was it not correct?
Because there was no council member, a councillor who was within the task force. The oversight functions who were handling it with the ministry was in the task force. It was just handpicked by the mayoress herself.
Who signs checks in council?
Two of us, the CEO and my humble self.
Can you at any point sign a check by yourself, alone, individually?
That never happened, because even with the banks...
Can that happen?
No, it cannot.
So even with the banks, what about the banks?
The banks, the mandate to sign is there.
Okay.
All to sign.
Yeah.
And the CEO and my humble self are the signatories to the accounts.
Okay. So every payment should be authorized by the CEO?
Of course, 100%.
Who was the CEO at the time?
Mustapha Batchilly.
Mustapha Batchilly?
Yes, sir.
Was he a member of the task force?
No. Anyway, I have no idea, but he was there. When I was sent on leave, he was there. And if there was a task force to be set up and people to be sent on leave, it should have been my humble self and the CEO, because he's accounting officer of council.
Yes, that's true. Now, how many accounts did you keep during your time as Director of Finance?
There were many accounts. EcoBank was there, FIB, Trust Bank,
Go ahead.
and I guess GT Bank also was there.
You're not sure how many accounts you've kept?
No, it was many accounts. B.C.C Bank was also there, almost 6 to 7 accounts, I think.
All right. Now, were you preparing bank reconciliations during your time?
We are preparing bank reconciliations.
Do you have evidence of that?
When I was given solicited leave, I handed over to the finance manager by then, and that's the handing over note that I prepared.
May I please see your handover notes?
Let's see here. It's just here, but we staple it. It's out, staple it.
We apply to tender the handing over notes of the witness, the Director of Finance at the time, Abdoulie J. Kaur. The date is 16th of July 2018, to be admitted into evidence and marked as an exhibit.
Abdoulie J. Kaur was just the witness. He's the internal auditor.
Sorry, Nyang.
I signed it, Abdoulie Nyang,
Yes,
TM
yes,
Nyang.
yes. I'm sorry, Abdoulie Nyang.
Yes, sir.
And the officer taking over is Mohammed Cham, correct?
Exactly.
The handing over notes from the Director of Finance, Banjul City Council, dated the 16th of July 2018. The officer handing over was Mr. Abdoulie Nyang, Director of Finance, and the officer taking over was Mr. Mohammed Cham, Finance Manager. It was witnessed by Mr. Abdoulie J. Kaur, the Internal Audit Manager. This handing over notes was copied to the PS Ministry of Lands, Lord Mayor, Chief Executive Officer, Internal Audit Manager, Finance Manager, and a file copy is maintained. This document is admitted in evidence as an exhibit, and it is marked as LGC/BCC/ATMN/004.
As the Commission places. Now, Mr. Nyang, did you hand over monthly reconciliations, bank reconciliations?
Because when I was given the uncertainty leave, it
Yes,
was
no, and you gave your explanation.
it was in the office anyway. I didn't hand over it to them directly. It was in the office.
Mr. Nyang,
The file.
you did not prepare monthly bank reconciliations. You did not. Just say it and we move on. You don't have to waste anyone's time.
Yes, Council.
Yes, what?
It was not prepared.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is there any reason why you did not prepare a monthly reconciliation? Monthly bank reconciliation?
Bank balances were confirmed against the cash book balances anyway.
Is there any reason why you did not prepare bank reconciliations?
No, there was no reason.
Were you qualified to prepare a bank reconciliation?
Yes, I do. And the finance manager also, at least coupled with me, we can do it
The
together.
what?
The finance managers also can do it.
They
And
can
then
do
I
it?
confirm, yes.
So you were here. You're the one I am asking questions. The 4.3 of the task force report further reads that they were not applying prudent financial management measures, despite senior management having allowances for transport, fuel, and part of their monthly salaries, they collect 900 daily fuel as designated allowances. Was that correct? Was that true? $900 is allowance for fuel every day?
No, I don't think this is correct. Because of one thing, Council, if I thought I was previewed to see this report well before, then I should have at least answered correctly.
Where the senior management giving fuel every single day, the records are there. If you say no, and you see the records, you'll be ashamed.
Not single day, it was weekly, I guess. It was
Weekly, how much?
I can't remember them.
Was it in accordance with the budget?
Yes, it was in line with the budget.
That would not be correct. You can't give them weekly allowances for fuel. How much a week?
It was not as per weekly allowance for individual, it was for the vehicles that we are using, official vehicles.
It says a recommendation was passed to stop these payments immediately. Our interview with the Director of Finance revealed that he was solely responsible for all procurement of lubricants and spare parts, fuel allocations, negotiations of loans and overdrafts. However, he was unable to respond to queries on the management letter of the 31st of May 2018. Were you given a management letter by the National Audit Office?
Management letter was given, but it was a draft management letter. And when they were responding to the management, to the management letter, I was not even in the office.
But they said you had access to it and you never responded.
No, I was not part of management by then, because I was going on leave and never allowed to return back.
Were you in charge of, solely in charge of the fuel and lubricants?
Even I have the management, I have the audit findings. The management sent from the National Audit, dated May 2018.
Mr. Nyang.
It was a draft.
Mr. Nyang.
Yes, sir.
You respond to drafts.
Respond to draft, yes.
That's what you do. You respond to drafts. Your queries in the draft is what you are supposed to respond to.
But the response that was forwarded to National Audit Office, I was not in office. You can
You
go
were
through.
to subsequently submit your response. Then you have what you have submitted. If they submit something different, you have your records. You have your draft. Respond to it accordingly. And you have the copy of your response. As simple as that.
When the letter came and the period I stayed with Council, when I was sent on leave, it was too short.
No. You know what happened? I don't think you were given a fair disciplinary process in this. It doesn't appear to be fair. You, as Director of Finance, you cannot have absolute control of the finances of Council. You do that with the CEO, Mr. Batchilly. He cannot deny that. He will come and testify. But there were findings against you of financial mismanagement. Those were clear. You will deal with that. You understand that? That is not to say that even though the process appears to be flawed, that you will have a pass on everything. No, there were real-time issues that were uncovered. So these two are different. You understand that? So to say you have absolute control of the finances would not be correct, knowing how Council operates, and knowing that you have to sign together with the CEO, and the CEO have to approve. But to suggest that you will not have any issues, that will also be wrong. Let me read further. It says, the current Council inherited a total liability of over $8 million to banks and suppliers. These bank loans and overdrafts attract significant charges and interest. This, in addition to the entrenched wasteful culture, has led to huge financial losses to Council over the years. With close and critical monitoring of the financial management malpractices, the task force uncovered deep-rooted weaknesses characterized by the following: the unjustified daily disbursement of fuel allocation, irrespective of the transport allowance paid monthly to all senior managers, has been recommended to be discontinued. The task force also discovered that certain allowances were paid to staff for internal committee meetings, example, procurement committee. In addition, certain allowance was paid to all directors who were sitting at General Council meetings, which we deemed unjustified, and recommended to Council to immediately discontinue this practice. So you were paying allowances. You had no evidence or of supporting documents to be able to pay this allowance in accordance with the budget. Why were you approving payment?
Allowances were paid
Yes.
and it was budgeted for.
You
In
have to
the-
have minutes
in the-
of meetings that will be attached to the vouchers. You have to have supporting documents. You know this more than I do. So you can't effect a payment without the necessary supporting documents. Is that not the case?
The attendance list was attached, but not the minutes. Minutes were with the CEO's office. At the
Then
CEO's
how do
office.
you know that the meetings were held if you do not see any minutes of meetings? How do you know?
You are right, Council, but the attachment was the list of attendance
Yes.
who signed during the meeting.
You know, what obtained was probably a culture of,
It was just an inadequate supporting documents that was, I agree, it was inadequate supporting documents that were attached to the vouchers for the
it
payment.
was what?
Inadequate supporting documents.
They
So
had
the
to be
minutes,
adequate.
minutes should have been attached to the vouchers for these allowances.
The 2017-2018 audit report, let me just give you a copy. You have one, correct?
Yes, I have one here.
Yes, the financial statement of the Batchilly Council, the financial management letter for the period 1st October 2017 to 31st of December 2018. All this time, Mr. Batchilly was the CEO?
Can you repeat the period, sir?
It says final management letter, audit performed for the period 1st of October 2017 to 31st of December 2018. Is that the one you have?
No, this audit I was not present by then at office.
When were you given your, when were you interdicted?
On the 16th of July 2018.
Yes. But this is from 2017 to 2018. Part of 2018 you were present.
Partly, yes.
Yes, I'm saying. So you were there from the 1st of January to July.
Exactly, sir.
So we just focus on the period that you were present.
Okay.
Correct? So what you do, you just turn to page 27.
I don't have the report with me here.
I have one copy.
Which page?
27.
Sorry. Yes?
Are we together?
Yes, we are together.
But before that, just go to 225, page 25, please.
Yes, 25.
25, Mr. Jang reads, examination of payment vouchers. It says the heading 2.15, the difference between payment voucher amount and cash book amount. The findings. Examination of payment vouchers against the cash book revealed a difference of $99,919.23 between the voucher amount and the amount recorded in the cash book. For instance, on the 12th of February 2018, you were present? You were present on the 12th of February 2018?
Yes, I was present.
The voucher amount states 2,000 $975. The cash book says $95,575. 23rd of February 2018, voucher amount states $13,500. Cash book $20,819. The difference, the variance is $99,919, 23 bottles. Do you see that?
I've seen that.
The voucher and the cash book must be the same.
Of course, 100%.
Why would you have this variance in recordings?
Yes, did you call in the
Yes,
next witness?
Yes, I just called in the next witness, but I just wanted to
Yes,
to answer
but let
this
him be
last
sworn
question.
so that he can sit down.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson.
Good afternoon, Mr. Witness. Good afternoon, Mr. Witness. Stand here, face that camera. Welcome to this Commission of Inquiry into Local Government Councils and related matters. Mr. Witness, in which language do you wish to make your testimony?
I wish to make it in English.
What is your religion?
Islam.
Do you wish to swear by the Holy Quran or make an affirmation?
I'll swear by the Holy Quran.
Okay, Madam Chair, the witness wishes to swear by the Holy Quran. Hold the Holy Quran, face that camera, and then repeat after me. I, Mustapha
Batchilly,
do swear that I'll speak the truth,
I'll speak the truth,
the whole truth,
and
nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you. You may be kindly seated. Madam Chair, the witness is sworn. I have the honor to hand over the witness to you for us to proceed.
Good afternoon, Mr. Batchilly.
Good afternoon, ma.
You are welcome.
Thank you very much.
Council, we may proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Now, so Nyang, just that you answer this question, and then I introduce Mr. Batchilly. Yes. So why the difference in the figures?
This audit report.
In the microphone, please.
During this audit exercise, I was not present in office, and I'm just seeing this audit report. Because if I was there, based on the management response, we should have at least checked how comes this based on the cash book. But I didn't have preview to check all these things because I was not present in the office. Because the period was...
Go ahead, proceed.
The period was 1st of January, 2017 to 2018, I guess.
Yes. Yes? Go ahead. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Because the cash book, the information should have been checked from the cash book and then the voucher. For correct verification, I think at least when there is any complaint or any observation, the response should be there at least to check whether it is there or not. But I was not there.
Mr. Nyang, we have on page 27 where it says discrepancies between the amounts collected and deposited. The findings were our review of revenue collected during the period January 2018 and December 2018 revealed a total discrepancy of $9,450,609. Now, between January and September 2018 of unallotment are shown in the table below. You were there until July, sorry?
July, yes.
Good.
July 15th, yeah.
So the January unallotment is $216,846 for the 6 bottles. February unallotment, $1,030,337 bottles. March unallotment, $1,886,826.53 bottles. April unallotment, $3,675,237 plus 28 bottles. May unallotment, $1,383,746 10 bottles. June unallotment, $299,038 59 bottles, and July unallotment $210 is 84 bottles. If you don't have time, you will never have time to respond to this?
I will have time to respond to this.
You will have time?
Yes, right now.
Okay, go ahead.
On the lodgements, council's revenue are checked on daily basis.
Yes.
Total revenue collected.
Right.
And I do make sure that banking is done on daily basis.
Right. But
there were some vouchers that were paid in cash.
Right.
That voucher should have been tendered to ascertain the lodgement, whether it is in line.
They are paid in cash?
Yes, some vouchers are paid in cash.
And not by check?
Pardon me?
They were cash payments and not check payment?
Yes, cash payment, not check payment.
And so?
If they check the total collection against the deposit,
right,
difference would have been the cash payments. And those cash payment vouchers would have been tendered to the auditors. And during this time, I was not there. I don't know whether it was done or not.
Okay, Mr. Nyang, you will have time. The commission is still on. You can have access to the vouchers. You will apply that you will be given access to B.C.C and the documents we have here, so that you can provide explanation as to these unlodgements, because they are serious. You understand that? But Mr. Batchilly is here. Mr. Batchilly.
Oh. Yes. Let me I don't seem to understand. Mr. Nyang,
yes,
I don't seem to understand when you said vouchers, because what the auditors are saying is that there is variation. When you look at, if you go to page 28, it's very clear. What is contained in page 28 is the fact that the cumulative posting, for example, from this January to September, if you put it together, and council has read you understand, the underlodgement, all these amounts that he has read to you are amounts of monies that were not posted to the bank. And you go to page 27, it clearly tells you that the cumulative posting that you have in your cash books and the cumulative deposits that you have in your bank statements are different. There is a variation of, for instance, 566,710. So where does the issue of vouchers come in when we are talking about what you receive and what you deposited? And what these auditors are saying is that what you receive and what you deposited are two different things. As the finance director, you should be in a position to know that this was happening. So there is no issue of voucher here. I may be wrong, but I don't think the issue of voucher can come in here. We are talking about your cash transactions and the revenues collected. Can you please shed light on that?
Yes, I think...
if not, we will give you time to think about it. Because voucher transaction and what is happening here with your cash book transactions are two different things. So we will give you time to think about it and give us an explanation so that we understand, so that we are not clouded in our understanding of what the issues are.
You know,
here.
the vouchers are in two components. You have the check vouchers, you have the cash vouchers. The cash vouchers is kept by the cashier and then to be posted as cash.
When you say cash vouchers, what do you mean?
Deposit, total collection, deposit, difference, the amount collected, amount deposited, the difference should have been the cash vouchers.
Council, you may proceed.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. So, Nyang, you can still have time to, as the chairperson has stated, to come up with the evidence to prove what you are saying. Is that not the case?
Yes, that's the case.
Very well.
Let the commission prepare permission for me to at least check on that with the council for the cash vouchers to be produced.
Honorable Chair, the witness made an application to be given time to go to council and verify some of these documents.
Ms. Nyang, we can give you an order to provide evidence of these shortages up to July, as was read to you, and you will forward that to the council so that you will be availed the opportunity to get us the evidence.
Thank you.
All right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr.
Council, you may proceed.
And also, I'm also applying to have this annex based on this.
You will liaise with the registrar who will provide you a copy of that.
Thank you.
All right.
Mr. Batchilly,
Yes, State Council.
how are you?
I'm doing good.
When did you start working for the Banjul State Council as CEO?
2001.
2001.
Yeah, I'll have to confirm it.
And you were there for how many years?
I've been there since that period up to February 2024.
2024.
Yes,
So actually you were the Chief Executive Officer.
yes.
Is your obligation to the council or to the mayor or mayoress, as the case may be?
My obligation is to the council.
To the council.
Yes.
Where you find that some actions are not proper and they're not in line, even though the mayor or mayoress may want something to happen, what should you do?
No, I don't get you well.
Where the demands or the instructions from the mayor or mayoress is not in line with your terms of reference, what should you do?
Should stick to your term of reference.
Have you been doing that, Mr. Batchilly?
Pardon?
Have you been doing that?
To a large extent.
No, to a minimal extent. To a minimal extent. In fact, Mr. Batchilly, the evidence that has been gathered is such that it appears that you were aiding and abetting some very serious financial practices that were going on in council. We'll go through that when you subsequently come and testify. I don't think that's what we expect from civil servants, to be honest. Let's start with the task force report of November 2018. Are we aware of the task force report?
Yes.
Did you take part in the task force?
No.
Who constituted the task force?
They were independent Banjulians who were brought after the mayor came to office.
No. Who constituted the task force? How was it established?
That's what I said. It's some individuals that were chosen by the Lord Mayor.
The Lord Mayor
Yes.
is the one who established the task force.
And blessed by the ministry too.
And the ministry?
Ministry.
Ministry?
Yeah.
Do you have those correspondence?
Pardon?
Do you have the correspondence to state that the ministry established the task force?
Yeah, we can check it.
You can check it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, by the way, the PS was at the inaugural ceremony.
Of the task force?
Yes.
Yes, but that doesn't mean that they take part in setting up the task force. But I will want to know, you will want to have evidence of how the task force was set up. Please confirm that this is the report of the task force.
Yes.
May I please have the task force report? Mr. Batchilly, was there an impress ledger at council when you were CEO from 2018?
No.
Why?
Because we got to discover that it was not being kept.
You discovered it was not being kept.
No.
How did you discover an impress ledger was not being kept?
Through external auditors.
No. Who should keep an impress ledger?
It should be the council itself, the finance department of the council.
Yes, but who is the chief finance officer of council?
I am.
So who should keep an impress ledger?
Yeah, but these are delegated responsibilities.
Did you delegate?
Yes.
Where is the evidence of you delegating the responsibility?
No, because of, if you look at the job that the finance people do,
Yes.
it shows clearly that, you know, for example, I cannot personally keep a loans ledger. I cannot personally keep.
Did you delegate that an impress ledger should be kept?
Yeah, but if you go by the job
Answer the question.
descriptions,
Did you delegate that an impress ledger should be kept?
Yeah, it's normally kept by them.
That's not the question. Did you delegate? I am using your words.
No, yes, delegate in the sense that, you know, as the CEO, as the man at the top, there are certain responsibilities that through legislation is done by, for example, through legislation.
Legislation?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's done by, like, works are done by the director of planning.
Yes.
Finance is supervised by the director of planning.
100%.
That's what I mean.
100%. And why is that relevant here?
Pardon?
Why is that relevant in this discussion?
Well, I'm just trying to show you
that,
you know, like, there are responsibilities given away, but the collective one, the collective responsibility.
Did you delegate that an impress ledger be kept by any of your financial staff, finance staff? It's a direct, simple question, Mr. Batchilly.
No, I'm still not trying to, I'm not sorry, still not understanding if you say, how did I delegate it to them? Because if you look at the job descriptions, you'll see that these are kept by these officers and that kind of
now
thing. That's what I mean.
Show us the job description that indicates that someone in the finance department should keep an impress ledger.
I don't have it here with me.
What, you don't have what with you?
I don't have any means of showing you right now here.
What do you need?
I need to see some manuals.
What kind of manuals?
Like the financial manual.
We have it here, we'll give it to you.
Okay.
Turn to page 52. It talks about impress and the procedure.
52.
Yes. It talks about impress and the procedure, the approval, the application, the approval stage, and the role of the senior accounts clerk.
Yeah.
Yes, you can read.
I'm on it here. Are you referring me to a specific whatever?
I'm trying to help. If you find any other section or paragraph that you can also share with us, but I think impress is dealt with by this relevant section. Yes?
All right, what I'm seeing here is, number one, all requests for impress should be made on an application for an impress and approved by the CEO.
And approved by the chief executive officer?
Yeah, or in his absence, his deputy.
So you are in charge of impress?
Pardon?
You are in charge of impress?
Yeah, because I'm the one who approved it.
You are in charge of all finances of council. You are the chief custodian of the finance of council.
Yeah, yeah.
You are in charge of impress.
Yeah.
Applications are sent to you.
Yeah.
And if it is necessary for it to be approved, you approve them.
Yep.
And then the necessary steps will occur.
Follow, yeah.
Is that not the case?
Yes.
So if there's an impress ledger, you will know.
Yeah.
Is it a true statement or not? We can read it.
You mean if an impress is given, I should know? I should know.
If there's an impress ledger, you will know because of the procedures that are laid down.
Okay.
Let me read to you. It says, if it is necessary for an officer of the council to have money at his or her disposal for disbursement on public service for which the usual pre-authorization procedures cannot apply, such officer may be given an imprest.
Yeah.
All imprest must be authorized by the chief executive officer.
Yeah.
Who will prescribe the terms and conditions under which imprest may be approved?
Yep.
You were just approving imprest. There were no conditions, there were no terms, nothing. You were just approving. All requests for imprest should be made on an application for an imprest and approved by the chief executive officer or in his absence his deputy. 2, the council should maintain an imprest ledger in which will be recorded all imprest approved by the chief executive. A subsidiary ledger will be opened in the name of each imprest holder detailing the imprest paid out, reimbursement, and retirements where they occur. Have that been done? Answer the question.
I would say no.
Yes. Thank you for being honest, Mr. Batchilly. Then we should not go further.
I would say no.
Yes, but why? Why?
Well,
You've approved millions of dollars by way of imprest. Everything we see here, imprest. Application for imprest, and you approve as CEO. Why?
because normally something is forwarded as a reason why these imprests are needed.
No, that's not the question. Why are you not following the procedure?
There are two aspects of it. One is about the requests that are made for the imprest.
Right.
And then secondly, about the management.
I am concerned about the management.
Yeah, the whole with regards to the management, I accepted that, to some extent or to a large extent, I would say
every extent.
it was not done to the fullest.
The question now is why would you be approving millions of dollars? You even approved imprest for the mayors.
Like I say, imprests are made with applications attached to them.
That is not the question.
No, I'm not saying that's the question.
Something follows after the application.
Exactly.
You can either approve or
disapprove.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you disapprove, that's where it stops. If
Okay.
you approve, there are procedures to
follow.
To follow.
Of course.
Which you had admitted you did not follow.
Yeah.
Now the issue now is why would you not follow those procedures?
There are factors.
What are the factors?
Factors. Caliber of finance staff is one.
Caliber of finance staff.
Yes. And this has been a problem with the council for
Mr.
a
Batchilly,
long time.
to record financial transactions, you would not do it because of caliber of finance staff.
No, because
Is that what you are saying here?
no. Get me very right. What I'm saying is, I think let's look at my situation in the context of being the person who's at the overall head
Yes.
of the administration.
Right.
All right. There are certain things I expect, for example, if they come from me going down,
Right.
that the needful will be done.
What is it needful?
Making sure that you execute all the duties
You don't
as you said.
expect that. You demand that. It must happen. You don't expect that. You enforce it. You have been giving people impressed and no retirement. They are given subsequent impressed, no retirement. They will be given another impressed, no retirement, endlessly. You think you own the council?
No.
You think the money is your money?
No.
No. So that's the point.
Yeah, but I'm also saying that because of one of the factors I've just said, we're just talking about what might have created the overall collapse.
What?
All right.
What created?
For example, if an impress is given,
Right.
for example, I approve the impress.
Right.
It goes down.
Right.
Everybody does the needful.
Everybody does the needful. What is the needful?
Making sure that all the necessary things are done with regards to the retirement.
Did
for
you check
example.
that? Did you check that all the necessary things are done?
Personally, you mean me personally checking them?
Yes.
To some extent.
You have never, because there had never been an impressed ledger. So you
No,
have never.
I'll disagree.
You disagree with what?
I'll disagree with the fact that, I'm trying to explain to you that, to some extent, you're not agreeing. Because there are some impress that, I would want to know whether they are retired or not.
I am making an assertion.
Yeah.
I am telling you and challenging you that there was never a time that you record anything in any impress ledger. If that statement is false, prove it.
We are not in the form of an
Exactly.
impress ledger. Let's also be very clear about that.
That's the issue.
Not in form of like making comments or dealing actually with those ledgers. No.
Yes, that's what we are interested in. Because if you give Mr. A impress, you approve it, you should even write the conditions, the timing, and everything.
But I agree to that. I did not waste any time on that. I
Yes.
agreed to it straight away.
That's why I said you continuously approved, impressed, monies given, there were no ceiling attached to it, there were no checks and balances in relation to this impress. Most of them did not retire, these monies were given to them, and everybody was just having access to council funds without adequate checks and balance. And you being the CEO, the laws are clear as to under what circumstances you should approve impress. It says if it is desirable that someone should have money for some expenditure. That is a first test. If it is necessary for any officer of council to have money at his or her disposal for disbursement on public service, for which the usual authorization procedures cannot apply. That is a test. For you to approve an impress, you must know and be convinced that if we are to follow the usual payment procedures, it will defeat the purpose. That is the test. And I had been telling them here, they were abusing the impress because you were abusing the impress as chief executive officer first and foremost. So everyone followed suit. They apply, you grant. They apply, you grant. And it says that such officer may be given an impress. All impress must be authorized by the chief executive officer who will prescribe the terms. You must prescribe the terms and conditions under which impress may be approved. Remember?
Lead counsel.
Yes.
There's something I learned from you.
This
You
one,
know, there's something I learned from you.
which is,
You know, this commission,
right,
we have a historic mandate
yes,
to make sure that we say it as it was.
right,
We're not just doing it for ourselves.
Right.
Because we would not live double our age again.
right,
We're doing it for the next generation.
right,
So we'll have to make sure that everything is spelled out,
yes,
opinion-wise.
Right.
And I hope you allow me.
yes,
All right. What you are saying, like, I'm with you.
yes,
The execution
yes,
of the imprest
right,
was paltry. It's not good.
right.
Complete agreement to that.
But
But
go ahead, proceed.
what I'm saying is now is
Yes.
the reason, because for example, I as a CEO,
Right,
I have a lot of things for the day. For example, I'm not just trying to say I'm the most busiest or our
You know, you're the
position.
busiest
No,
in council.
Yeah, I'm just saying here. But so now there's a tendency that if an impress was taken 2 weeks ago,
right,
for example, whether it will occur to the mind that these people who are supposed to deal with, all these entry issues, and seeing to it that, if auditors come, their exercise would
Right.
be very easy. It doesn't work that way at times.
that is why you should have a ledger.
It
Anyone
doesn't
who
work
comes to the
that way.
application, you go back and check the records.
It doesn't,
Simple as
it
that.
doesn't go back. And also, let me also come at another point. For example, at that level, where we can get a lot of information
Right,
on financial issues,
right.
it's through the formal channel.
Well, and what is the formal channel?
If for example, I'm controlling finance,
Right,
and I'm seeing to it that some of these imprests are difficult to retire,
right,
I can certainly, like put something in writing,
something in, and then,
and sit and tell the CEO that, look, I'm having issues A, B, C, D, E.
No.
It is, it is to do with the impress system,
No.
and like I have the impression that it's not being
no,
kept.
Mr. Batchilly, you
No,
need
sir,
to do your job.
Let me learn.
Go
Sir,
ahead.
sir, please. So that's what I mean, because the notion of responsibility at that level, the notion of individual responsibility, is based upon all other factors being equal. Like all other things that are supposed to be done are done on time.
Mr. Batchilly,
You
see, we are not here to
the thing is, please don't look at me as
You
if
are not giving a
I'm
speech.
trying to.
You will not give a speech, Mr. Batchilly. You are not giving a speech. You will not give a speech. You are here to answer questions.
Okay.
Do you understand that?
Okay.
You will not give a speech, Mr. Batchilly. If you want to give a speech, you have to ask for permission. They grant it. You can address for 1 hour. If they grant it, no problem with me. You answer questions. The issue is the law says you must act in a certain way. You did not act in a certain way. And it is not as if you do not know. You knew that you were to act in a certain way and you refused to act in a certain way. You know why? It's a fraudulent malpractice. It's a fraudulent practice.
I would not agree to that.
You don't have to agree. I don't want you to agree.
Absolutely, I will not.
Mr. Batchilly, I don't want you to agree.
Absolutely.
If I want you to agree, you will agree. I don't want you to agree. The issue is clear. When it is very clear, you don't have to agree. I'm not asking you whether it is a yes or a no. It is a fraudulent practice, I'm telling you. It's as simple as that. Because what is difficult in keeping an impress ledger? You were approving monies to be given to the mayoress. You will come to all of those. That the mayoress will be in her office. We have that evidence. In her office. Monies will be with someone outside. She will come out and demand that XYZ be paid this amount, as if she was the CEO or the finance director. You know what I'm talking about. You know how B.C.C was run. You think I will not say it? I will say it. Over and over and over again.
I'm still trying to understand. If you say question and answers, okay, if you ask me a question, I give you an answer.
I did not ask you a question.
And you are not satisfied with the answer. I'm just learning that now I have to, if I have to give a long explanation, I have to take that.
Yes. Mr. Batchilly, we have the task force you have identified. The task force reads on page 47. These were allegations against the finance director. This was your finance director. You recognize him?
Yeah, sure.
Good. He was subsequently dismissed from service.
Yeah.
Now I will read part of the task force report on page 47, and I will ask you about your reaction to that, your answer. It says, the Director of Finance was solely responsible for all finance-related activities. There was no segregation of duties, as he alone was requesting, authorizing, and approving payments, with little or no oversight by the CEO. Is that correct statement?
Sorry, the last part, I did not get it.
The Director of Finance was solely responsible for all finance-related activities. There was no segregation of duties, as he alone was requesting, authorizing, and approving payments, with little or no oversight by the CEO. Is that a true statement?
I will not agree with that statement, because he cannot do everything without me.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your honesty. So this statement will not be correct. Now, the two of you would be approving payments in council, correct?
Yeah.
And you being the most important, if you don't approve a payment, it cannot be done. Correct? Agree?
Provided I'm giving the right documentation too.
What does that mean?
Well, you just don't bring a payment and then I pay. It has to have attachments.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I am saying, that you have the discretion to approve or disapprove of payment, disapprove payment, as per the financial manual.
Yeah.
And was that the practice in council during that time? Were you approving or disapproving payments, as the case may be, when he was there?
It would depend on what type of payment was forwarded.
Was Mr. Nyang approving payments individually and solely in his capacity as Director of Finance, without your permission?
That's a difficult question, in the sense that, approval is like, are you talking in terms of documentation or in terms of payments?
No.
Can you please
if we have a voucher and it is prepared from the finance department, correct?
Okay.
So before it reaches you, Mr. Nyang would have approved of that preparation.
Yes.
But that does not guarantee payment.
Yes.
The CEO must approve payment.
Yeah.
I am now saying whether he had been approving payment, raising vouchers and approving payments, and making sure payments are done without your approval?
Now, what kind of payments here are we talking about again?
What kind of payments do
Because
exist?
if it's a check payment, I'll have to sign.
Right. So what kind of payments? What kind of payments would there be in council? Cash payments?
That's the reason why I'm wondering. If it's a cash payment, then that's a different case.
No, you tell me. Listen, there are two types of payments: cash or check.
Yeah.
Either or, the custodian is the chief executive officer.
Yeah.
The finance director cannot hold cash unless it is approved by the chief executive officer. Is that a true statement?
Again, if you say cannot hold cash unless instructed by the CEO, in what circumstances are you referring to, for example?
The finance director should not hold cash unless approved by the chief executive officer. If he ever held cash in his hand, then that would not be lawful if it is not approved by you. Is that a true statement?
I'm still indulging for further explanation, please.
I'm struggling to explain this. Let us do it one after the other, one question after the other. How many type of payments do you have?
You have check payments and cash payments.
Okay. How are cash payments done?
Cash payments are given over the cash over the counter.
Over the counter.
Yeah.
Done by?
Like the finance people.
Who in the finance?
Finance could be different officials within the finance.
You don't know who
could be the
does
cashier.
the payments?
It could be the.
It could be the cashier.
Could be a cashier.
Or it could be who?
Could be a senior accounting officer.
Or it could be who else again? It could be who else again?
Yeah, those are more acceptable norms than I or maybe a director of finance, like holding cash.
Director of finance should hold cash?
Yeah, it's like I'm concurring to some extent to what you earlier on said.
Should a director of finance be in possession of cash?
It depends on what circumstances he or she is holding the cash.
What circumstance would warrant the director of finance to hold cash?
But for example, if it's like an imprest that's given to him,
yes.
Cash imprest.
Exactly.
For one reason or the other.
Yes.
Yes.
That's why I said, if cash is to be held by any individual, the CEO must be aware and approve of it. That is the law.
Given the circumstances that we just discussed. Yes.
Yes. Are there any other circumstances outside the circumstances that we have to discuss?
Could be.
Nothing like could be. No speculation. Just facts. You as the head, during the time Mr. Nyang was there, was at any point in time Mr. Nyang in possession of cash that he was paying without you being aware?
Council, I think
A simple question, Mr. Mustapha.
it's a simple question to you. But then if you want me to participate in the way you want me to participate,
You and I
please,
am giving you time.
you have to help me to understand. Because I'm making reference to the statement that was made within the report.
Yes.
Not so.
You know why I'm asking this question?
In instances where, like you said, the payment voucher is signed by the Director of Finance.
Right.
Given that circumstances, if it's signed by the Director of Finance and it's not endorsed by myself,
yes,
then there should be no cash transaction.
Exactly.
No transaction, in fact, should happen.
Yes. That's my point.
I think now you understand where I'm also coming from.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's my point. The point I further try to establish with you,
yeah,
is that if it is necessary for the paying out cashier, if you have a structure,
yeah,
like a paying out cashier,
yeah,
who is designated to hold cash and make payments, there'll be a cash book.
yes,
Monies that he will handle will be accounted for.
yeah,
Is that not the case?
Yeah.
There'll be monthly bank reconciliations.
yeah,
You would either should be informed, aware, and notified before, during, or at most after by the bank reconciliation. You agree with that system?
yeah.
Yes. So the CEO, if it is late, should be at the end of the month. Then you would have known all the irregular financial dealings that have happened in your institution. But at the end of the month, that would not, you will not go a whole year and then you realize that the paying out cashier was handling $1 million a day. Because the records are there, the cash book is there. So my point is, for the financial mismanagement of council, during the time of Mr. Nyang, I told him he cannot escape from. And the irregular financial practices and the allegations therein here is not just from Mr. Nyang. It's Mr. Nyang and the Chief Executive Officer. Because like you clearly outlined, Mr. Nyang cannot just do it alone, cannot sanction payments alone.
Well, you're just talking about, if I can understand what you've been just talking about, you have limited it, first of all, to the way payments, the mode of payments were to be effected. I think that's where you're coming from.
Yes.
All right. So that being the case, if you say that, then we're all equally liable. When it comes to the liability aspect,
yes,
I personally, as an individual,
you are.
I personally, as an individual, I'm not professionally dishonest. I will just say it as it is.
No, the
if I'm blamed, if I am not blamed, but I'll just say it as it is.
The evidence we have received does not suggest that.
Yeah, but then maybe you will not think the same, like the way I am, of course, because you have your own opinion.
No, it's not an opinion. I don't have.
You have your opinion, but what I'm saying here is, okay, let me tend to limit this exchange based on the questions you're asking, so that you will not get out of
much
context.
Better. Were you called to answer to this task force?
The task force, I have told you categorically clear, they had no interaction with me.
You never appeared in the task force?
No.
Why?
I was just at the opening ceremony and at the closing ceremony when they came.
You took part in the ceremony?
Yes.
And the task force was about finance?
Yes, what about
and you were
finance?
the chief accounting officer?
Yes.
And you were never called to give evidence?
I'm telling you what happened. It might be strange to you, but that's exactly what happened.
See, Mr. Batchilly, I respect...
like I told you here, this is a historic mandate. So we say it as it happened, and then we take it up.
Yes.
So that's the reason why I'm trying to be very specific. It will be strange to you to understand how come a task force is doing a report in the. In fact, some of their programs within the finance department itself, it was not up to my knowledge. So I'll just see them, like calling up different people from the finance department, giving them responsibilities.
It should have been proper for them to call you.
But that did not happen, and I'm public. What I'm saying, I'm public. So for me, definitely, I can tell you categorically clear, because in the first place, I was not even in agreement to it, in the sense that within our local government fraternity, we have a system.
And what is the system?
If, for example, one administration is going away and another one is coming in, and maybe there are issues to be clashed, it's normally handled by the Directorate of Local Governance.
Yes.
Customarily, that's what we knew.
Yes.
Yeah. So in this case, like I started realizing that that is not going to be the norm here. The norm here would be, okay, we have qualified Banjulians who are interested to work for Banjul in this instance, and they will bring them forward, and then they'll do the job. That's what I saw. And in the first place, when I started realizing that opinions were made well before even work started in earnest, it made me to be very careful and to protect my dignity.
And that's from the top?
Yeah, because like I say, how can a task force, for example, be formed, without the CEO making a comprehensive, situational report?
Right.
That was one thing.
Right.
So in the end, I decided, okay, look, let me just facilitate whatever they want. But then it was even disheartening for my junior staff to be called or for things to be demanded from them. But then I myself, to them, I was a suspect case, because with regards to some sand and some gravel, which the former regime they were giving away. So some officials in the councils benefited, and then they called the NDMA, they called the drivers of the NDMA,
yes,
to ask whether Batchilly, you know Batchilly's house, or whether you've delivered such building materials to Batchilly.
To the house.
The drivers told you we don't know who Batchilly is.
Very well. Now,
So since that day, I just decided that, look,
now you had said,
let me just stay in my
you had said that some opinions were formed well before you were contacted. Are you referring to the mayoress?
She was the one coming in.
No, you said we see it as it is.
Yeah, she was the one coming in.
No.
So, and then the idea, we discussed, I explained to her that normally if you have issues regarding transitions,
Right.
we normally resolve it through the Local Government Service Commission.
Okay.
But she explained to me, which I could also understand,
Right.
because maybe that was her mission.
I will have to release you. Last issue before you're gone.
I respect that.
Mr. Nyang,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Nyang, on your second page, you have stated the issue of the procuring of furniture for the Lord Mayor, as you have written it, the Lord Mayoress, and the conference table for the chamber. You said, as Director of Finance, in 2018, I received a memo from the CEO, Mustapha Batchilly, instructing me and the procurement officer, Aidan Jai, to procure furniture for the office of the Mayoress Rohiyatu Law and the conference table for the chamber. And after taking inventory of the said office, says I went with the procurement officer to facilitate the process and later submitted quotations from the various suppliers to the CEO as per his assignment. Having submitted quotations to the CEO, he told us to stop the process for the office of the mayor, as the mayor was going to handle the process on her own by procuring furniture for her office. Mr. Nyang, you still stand by that?
Yes, 100%.
Go ahead.
I was given a memo by the CEO to procure the mayor's office furniture
Yes.
together with the procurement officer.
Yes.
And I guess I have the memo here with me. We adhered to his request and then went ahead to procure the mayor's furniture.
Yes. Yes.
When we went to search for quotations, we went to various suppliers along Kairaba Avenue and Baltil Hardin. One of them was the City Furniture in Kairaba Avenue, Mori Bolong, Ayub Electronics, Ayub Furniture, Fatima Trading, yes. I think there were even 5 to 6 different quotations.
Yes.
Based on the inventory we had at the mayor's office.
Yes.
The previous mayor's furniture that she was occupying, and then we go ahead with that. So we went to JMAT Furniture. On our surprising, we found the Lord Mayor there. Okay. I didn't even know the Lord Mayor by then. That was the first time I saw the Lord Mayor.
Okay.
I was with Aidan Jai, the procurement officer.
Yes, she confirmed that.
Aidan Jai even introduced me with the Lord Mayor by then.
Okay.
That he's Mr. Abdoulie Nyang, our Director of Finance. When we were there, we found 2 other guys who were there with the Lord Mayor. And later I recognized that it was Makumba Sane.
Yes.
And one Mr. Sar. Mr. Sar.
Yes.
Later I learned that, they were among her campaign managers. So the mayor told us that I told the CEO, I am to do my own procurement, just as Talib of KMC did. Told him that anyway, the CEO told us that, well, we are not here for that. We are here for the conference table only. So we left. We didn't respond. I didn't respond anyway.
Yes.
We went back. I handed over the invoices from Moribolong and others to the CEO himself. I think I have copies with me, So the CEO told us, anyway, the Lord Mayor said that you stop. I said, no problem. we complied.
Okay.
So later on, the invoice from GMAT was submitted together with contact. I saw the contact numbers of the two people who were there.
Yes.
Makumba Sane and the other Mr. Saab. I think I have the copies here with me.
Yes.
And to our surprise, the materials were supplied, delivered to council. I then came to my office and showed me a delivery note that, Mr. Nyang, look at this delivery note. I look at it. She said it's signed by Makumba. I saw Makumba's name and the signature. And I also confirmed the telephone number, against the telephone number on the invoice that was sent before. It was the same. I told Adanja that just have to go to the CEO but make sure you copy this and give me a copy, you know. So that was it. Okay. Later on, I realized that, it was submitted to the delivery was submitted to the CEO, and I was given the feedback that, the CEO happened to see the delivery note signed by Makumba, and he was even surprised that Makumba signed it, and he was even attempting to delete the signature of Makumba by using a Tipex.
Yes.
One of our staff was there, the clerk to council, one Dowdy Jones, who told the CEO that you cannot delete this. This is against the law. You cannot delete this. You cannot see tickets. So that was it. And I guess that delivery note was not even forwarded for attachment on the particular payment, I believe. Because at least the delivery should have been there to justify that the amount and the items were delivered accordingly.
Yes.
And the CEO is here sitting, and he can attest to that the delivery note was handed over to him by Aidanjai.
Yes.
And I have the copy with me here.
May I please? We will go through that at some point. Mr. Batchilly, the events as narrated by Mr. Nyang, are they accurate?
The only thing I do not agree with is about this Tipex issue.
Tipex.
Completely, I disagree. My integrity is too high for that.
See,
giving people, Tipex.
Let me advise you about one thing, Mr.
That's away from it. But I can tell you.
Let me just give you advice and we proceed. Don't bring issues of your integrity here. You do that, it's going to be a problem, because with what we have, you may not be able to sustain it. To establish it, let's just do the questions and answers as they go. Because for some of the things that you have done, which you will agree with subsequently, would not be positive with respect to your integrity. There are so many things.
Okay, do you know?
We just proceed with the Q&A.
What I'm talking about in terms of integrity.
Yes.
What I'm just saying here is, some stories, if they are given,
forget about the issue of the
it doesn't tell well. What happened here is, let me make it very open.
No, hear me out.
And swift.
Let's talk about the issue of the pen eraser also. Did you instruct them to conduct procurement?
Did I instruct who?
The finance director and the procurement officer to go and start procurement for this.
I might not be able to remember. That's a long time ago.
Okay.
What I want to give you, an account of what happened.
Oh, go ahead.
Which I would agree with him.
Yes.
That initially, since then we did not have a proper procurement unit.
Yeah.
So he was very instrumental in procurements.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So they went, did their own search. Then the mayor was just coming in. The mayor said she wanted to buy this furniture from these furnitures from JMAT.
Yes.
And indeed, it was purchased from JMAT. And
when they came, the words are from JMAT.
Yeah.
As done by the mayor, Talib Presuda.
Yeah. And when they came,
was that a fact?
Yeah, I'm agreeing. I'm telling you.
Okay,
I'm trying to cut this.
You did not mention that part, Mr. Budget. That's why I am reminding you of that part.
Which one?
The part that I have just explained, that they were told that they want to do their own procurement, just as it was done by the mayor, Talib Ahmed Basuda. Now you have agreed that that's
Yeah,
true.
that's we're talking about KMC. That's
No, the
KMC, talking about
statement.
BCC.
I'm interested in the statement.
Yes.
It is evidence led by, we received from 2 witnesses.
Yep.
Yes, so you have said it's a fact.
Yeah.
Now proceed.
So after the delivery was brought in council,
Yeah, yes.
yes, it was because in those days Makumba was the one anointed by the mayor
Right.
to take care of her office.
Right.
And then he was the one who
Mama Kuma was
appointed by the mayor to receive the furniture if they come to BCC.
Is that the usual way? The
It's
law
not-
says the chief executive officer must institute an examination and receipt or acceptance committee. How about the goods have defects? They don't meet with specifications.
I'm not disputing that.
No, I know.
Lead council.
You see,
I'm not disputing
Mr.
that.
Batchilly,
at all.
you're having something wrong. You're misunderstanding here. You admitting to some facts. Yes, yes. I will. Mr. Batchilly has just agreed to this issue. So, Honorable Chairperson, I will apply that Mr. Batchilly be allowed to go. We will proceed from there because he has something very important to attend to. Not more important than the commission, but I was asking that he be allowed to go so that we continue with Mr. Nyang.
Sorry,
Yes.
Lead Council, can I attend these documents? The memo prepared by the-
You're coming back. You'll come back after the break. I'm just being signaled it is time. that's
Lead
why.
council, I have a contribution in the same respect. Do I reserve it till I come back on Monday or what?
Yeah, it is.
Madam Chair,
address
sorry.
Mr. Batchilly, time is up.
Yeah.
We are guided by GRTS.
Yeah.
And when the time is up, we are told that it's 1 o'clock. So we will accommodate whatever you want to tell the commission when you
Okay.
come
Okay.
as CEO
Yeah.
of Banjul City Council to give your evidence.
Okay.
This was just for a specific specs
Okay.
found in the report that he wanted to confirm with you.
All right.
So
Okay.
you may go and you will be back on Monday.
But
So-
my future intervention would be based on this topic.
Yes, we will give you the opportunity to do that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Because that document has been admitted in evidence, and you can highlight or disagree with whatever it is that is contained or whatever you want to highlight
Thank you
to
very much.
buttress on the issues that have been put forward.
Thank you very much.
All right?
Thank you very much.
We may rise.